Hi there. Hope you have a fantastic day today. This lesson, I'm going to teach you loan repayment. Of course, there's a PDF file versions on the description below for you to download so you can work with me. Otherwise, let's go straight into it. First one. Margaret borrows $300,000 to buy an apartment. The interest rate is 6% per annum, compounded monthly. The repayments were set by the bank at $2,200 per month for 20 years. The loan balance sheet shows the interest charge and the balance owing for the first month. Part 1. What is the total amount that is to be paid for this loan over the 20 years? So let's get into it. So first of all, we know that Margaret borrowed $300,000 and the interest rate is 6% per annum, mean 6% per year. And she had to pay $2,200 per month for the next 20 years. So the question is asking for the total amount that she had to repay. So let me just write this down. Part 1, I just write repay. So she had to pay $2,200 for every month. So for 1 year, she had to pay 12 times. So we times 12. So that is for 1 year. And she had to pay for 20 years. So we just times by 20. So I just go 2,200 times 12. That is for 1 year. And she paid for next 20 years. So we just times by 20. So the answer is $528,000. $528,000. That is the total amount that she had to pay back, okay? Part 2. So we need to find the value of A and B. So part 2. So the value of A is the interest. To work out the interest, so we know that the interest is I is equal to PRN. P is the amount of money that she owed. So at the end of first month or at the beginning of second month, if you like, that is how much she owed. So that is P. So $299,300, and we times by the interest rate. So the interest rate is 6% per annum. So which is times by 6% mean per 100. And that is for 1 year. And she had to work out the interest rate for 1 month. So which is times by 1/12. Or you can divide by 12 because this interest is for 1 year. So divide by 12 or times 1/12 if you like, because 12 months in a year, okay? Now I just put in a calculator to 99300 times 6%, and then we just divide by 12 or times 1/12. So $1,496.50 equal $1,496.50. So therefore, A is equal to $1,496.50. Now to work out B, so the value of B is the final balance that at the end of second month. To work out the balance that Margaret owes at the end of second month, so she need to pay the interest plus the amount of money she owed at the beginning of the month. And then she paid back $2,200. So we less that amount. So we just use this amount and we add the interest and then we minus this amount. That will give her the balance at the end of second month, which is the value of B. So let me just move this up. So B is equal to $299,300 plus the interest, that is A. A is 1496.50, and then we minus the monthly repayment, that is $2,200. So that is, so I just go 299,300 plus 1496.50, and we minus 2200. So that is $298,596.50. 298,596.50. There you go. Please pause the video and try this one yourself. Hi, I'm back. How do you go? So let me go through it with you, okay? Before I do that, please do not forget to give me a thumb up and subscribe if you haven't done so you can help me to grow my channel. So let's get into it. So part 1. So we need to find out the value of A. So the value of A is the amount of money that she owed. So that is at the beginning. So she borrowed $19,000. And to find out the value of B, and B is the amount of balance that at the end of 4th year. So to work out B, so at the beginning of 4th month, she owed this much. Then she has to pay the interest of $71.66. That's how much she owed if we add them together. But then she paid back $436 at the end of the month. So we less that. That will give us the value of B, okay? So B is equal to $17,915.67. That is how much she owed at the beginning of 4th month. And then she have to pay the interest. So that is $71.66. And then she paid back $436 at the end of the month. So therefore we less that amount. So that will give us, so just go 17915.67 plus 71.66, and then we less 436. So that is $17,551.33. There you go. Part 1. Now part 2. So we need to work out the value of X. So X is this amount. So this amount is the interest on the 2nd month. Now to work out the interest, so we can use I is equal to PRN. So let me just write this down. I is equal to PRN. So P is the amount of money that she owed at the beginning of the month. That is this amount. So $18,640. And we times by the interest rate. And the interest rate is 4.8% per annum. That is per year. So 4.8% means per 100. And that is the interest for 1 year. And we need to work out the interest for 1 month. So we can either divide this by 12 because 12 months in a year, or we can just time by 1/12. So we just convert month into years. That's why we divide by 12. So now I just put that on a calculator. So I just go 18640, we times by 4.8 over 100. And we times by 1/12, or divide by 12 if you like. So $74.56. So there you go. So I'm not sure which method you use because there are 2 methods to work this out. So regardless what method you do, you should get the same answer, okay? So if you use different method, of course, we know that to work out the balance, so we know that this amount, that's how much you owe at the beginning of the month, and then we add the interest, and then we minus this to give us the balance, right? So therefore, to find the value of x, which is going backward. So we know that 18,640, we plus the value of x, we're not sure what it is, and we minus the monthly repayment, so that is $436. That will give us the balance. So the balance is $18,278.56. So therefore x is equal to, so if we move this across, so that becomes plus and this becomes minus. So let me just write this down. So 18278.56, we add 436 and then we minus 18640. So just put that on a calculator. So 18278.56, we plus 436 and minus 18640. So there you go. So $74.56. So this method, or you can use this method. Doesn't matter which way you use, okay? So let me just write this down. So therefore, x is equal to $74.56. So there you go. So part 3, we need to work out the total amount that he has to pay, okay? The total amount. So we know that monthly repayment is $436. That is the monthly repayment. And for 1 year, he paid 12 times. This is the yearly repayment. And he paid that for 4 years. So we just times by 4. So that will be equal to, so now I just put on a calculator. So 436 times 12 times 4. So that is $20,928. So there you go. I hope you got all of them correct. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.